from a different star, flying over streets and our broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the lead. Oh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we golden, we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game, and we ride on the flames till the morning light. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. We're from a different time, yeah, we're of a different breed. 'Cause what we got is timeless, we supersede. And we hold in the key, yeah, we're tight as can be. We're rolling, just like we please. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. We're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, now we golden, we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game, and we ride on the flames till the morning light. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. Gonna let the world know.
All right. It is time to start another Office Hours. It is Thursday, October 28th. 7th. Sorry, should do my own math. 4 days before Halloween, where all the masks come off and all the fun starts. We're ready to join us together for a little bit of Office Hours, where we're going to talk a little bit invoicing. But let's start with bringing up the stars of Office Hours on the left-hand side of the screen. Loving that there is a ton of snow up in the mountains and living a Rocky Mountain high, Miss Jenny Rickle. Jenny, how is it in Colorado?
It is snowy and wonderful. It is definitely time for the winter season to come. I know it's still a little early, but I'm ready. Like the ski mountains will actually open usually around Thanksgiving. So we're a few weeks out to maybe having some skiing in my future.
Well, I can guarantee that the ski mountains near me will not be opening, and because anytime soon. But Mike, I'm pretty sure you have ones that are a little closer to you that may actually have a little snow in the next couple of months. But how's life in Warsaw, Indiana? As I'm assuming you're sunny and brisk today, like we are here 2 hours south.
That's it. 35, 40 degrees and brisk, like you said. So it's coming. But I'm glad. Jenny makes me happy always when she's talking about nature and the outdoors and her love for all of that. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
There we go. Well, I've always thought I should get back into the love of snow events, and I enjoy playing and making the best snowman. That's one of the things I can always say when the snow is in the right way. But we don't get a lot of snow here. We get usually one snow a year in Indianapolis that comes. So that's how it works. All right, today we are going to talk invoicing software, but mostly like the idea of that we have a portion of our portfolio that is way smaller than what it is in the actual payments business. About 40% of businesses send 5 or more invoices, and 30% of them live nearly 100% of their time in the Net30 to Net60 world. And it represents, and I don't know the actual, but I'm going to guess less than 5, probably even significantly less than 5% of our businesses live in this world, the Net30, where everything is just send out an invoice and wait for them to be paid. Ask them Net 15 days, Net 30, Net 60, Net 90. Some of you are in those type of industries. And they've often shied away from using credit cards and debit cards, but now that is all the rave. And we've seen an uptick of that happening. And we want to help you make sure you know what your resources are when helping those type of merchants. I'm going to list off some of these, and I'm going to go. I didn't actually plan who's going to take, so I'm going to bring both of you up, and you guys tell me. But the most basic of invoicing software is on every merchant account we set up. It's on the back end of Payments Hub. Who wants to kind of describe what that does? And it also links to how also you can, when you're using Pay Anywhere, that same invoicing software is there, and it's also available on the front end. So we'll kind of group those two together. Who wants to kind of describe what that is?
I can.
Go ahead, Jenny.
All right. So something that to keep in mind about this product is part of our premium Payments Hub access. So all of our merchants have that option. It's an extra $14.95 a month. It's free for the first 60 days. So what's really cool about this product is a merchant can try it out for the first 60 days without having to pay any cost for it. After the 60 days, that $14.95 fee will apply. So that's a really great perk to this option. What the ability is to go ahead and send out an invoice, have the customer click on a link to pay here. It also has that reoccurring for anybody who has like memberships or a consistent base where they need to send them out. It can go ahead and send them out consistently every 2 weeks, every month. You can set up those subscriptions as needed. And it's a really great option for businesses who are not specifically huge, who don't have to send out hundreds of invoices, but still need to go ahead and receive payment via this way without having to have a card reader or without having to even be in person to accept those invoices or payments for those invoices. So it's a great option.
So the next product is one of those it's an add-on to your merchant account. So it's not just what Payments Hub and Pay Anywhere may offer, but also then has a lot of other features. But specifically, invoicing being one of them is Fluid Pay. You can find that at mypapertech.com. Should have brought that up, but I just said you can find all the information on these things on mypapertech.com. Mike, can you walk us through a little bit of what Fluid Pay offers and what are even maybe some of the additional features on invoicing that it may offer?
Yep, definitely. As Nate said, there's a whole section under gateways on My Protect on the left side. We have a section about point of sale, regular terminals, online gateways, so it's all there. With Fluid Pay, you have the ability to add what we term a convenience fee to online purchases coming through a website, coming through telephone calls, where you're going to manually enter that, and by sending an invoice. In addition to being able to just send an invoice, you pay, they click to pay that bill. You can also set up people for recurring payments. So you own a gym or your merchant owns a gym and they say, I need to charge this person $50 a month for 12 months straight. They can open up Fluid Pay very easily, start that transaction. You check a box that says, I would like to make this recurring. How many times would you like it to recur? Boom, it's set. Set it and forget it, and it's very simple, and all of that information shows up in your Payments Hub as transactions that you ran on your processing account. So it's really, all these are very simple. They're very user friendly.
And kind of grouping in what's happened over the last over the whole time I've been involved in payments, so well over a decade, is the term gateway originally meant the middleware software that connected any type of other software vendor to the payment systems. Now gateways are their software in of themselves, and so you can just simply be a product user. So Fluid Pay is the first one you mentioned, but we have lots of others, and they all have invoicing tied to them. Authorize.net, M&I, USA ePay is the degraded and now part of NMI. These are all gateways that have the software to be able to do invoicing, to be able to handle that. And then our newest one, PayTrace, which is now part of our family and part of the peak bonuses for those who are doing peak bonuses. Jenny, how would you describe when a merchant specifically is looking for a software to do invoicing and you're choosing some of the gateways as options? How do you choose the differentiation, knowing that one of the things I said is we're going to work on a matrix to help describe what the differences are between all these to better. We had an older one and it doesn't do it as well as now. But how would you help a partner help a merchant choose the right gateway?
It really starts with, I say this a lot, know your customer. What kind of process does the business really need? Is it a smaller operation where they're sending less than 100 invoices out? Or is it something very large that's sending out hundreds to thousands of invoices a month? Is it a business-to-business setup, or do they really have that business-to-customer setup, so B2B or B2C? Also, things to consider are what kind of payments are they taking in, because some of these gateways do have the ability to take on those level 2 and level 3 processing. So you really just have to kind of hone in, get the details of what kind of processes they have, how many invoices they're sending out, and then go from there to kind of narrow it down and decide what's going to be the best fit for their business.
And I think asking some of those questions about how the making sure, like you said, know your customer, how they are wanting to actually how they work now and how they want to work. And so a lot of these you're going to find, hey, they really work in QuickBooks. So 29 million users, I just looked this up, over in the US do more than 50 invoices on QuickBooks every month. That's a lot of users. That's a lot of businesses. Some of them are smaller, some are bigger, but they're using and they live in QuickBooks. And 60% or more of those are living on QuickBooks Online, which is where we have tools like ChargeZoom, which actually will interconnect and make it so they can actually do their business the exact same way they've been doing it, simply utilize our payment side, but then add on the surcharging, which ChargeZoom allows to do, versus the convenience fee, which FluidPay allows to do. Mike, I'm going to throw this to you and see. I didn't tell I was doing this. How would you describe the difference between going convenience fee versus going surcharging and ChargeZoom?
Sure. A convenience fee is something that we can apply to all forms of payment. With a surcharge, you cannot apply that to a debit card transaction. So that's the decision, that you have to make. And in some cases, you have to choose the one that does only surcharge because you want the other features that it offers.
Well, and some of those features are things like level 2 and level 3 processing, and the ability to actually optimize interchange rates so they can lower the cost. And if they offer surcharging or they offer a convenience fee, that convenience fee doesn't have to be as high because we're optimizing the interchange and driving that down.
Yep.
Without going into a whole discussion on interchange optimization, level 2, level 3 processing. Jenny, can you give us a quick overview on what those are?
Yeah, so there's really specific card types. So your question, Nate, is what is level 2 and level 3 processing, just to make sure I'm understanding right. Okay. So there are specific cards that are assigned by corporations and businesses that have different specific rates for the cost of the card that can be processed at a lower rate if the software is set up to accept that type of card, right? So it's going to identify it with the bin. So it takes a look at the card, the information that's coming through. It sees that it's a business and corporation card, and it can lower down the cost of the card and in the fact saving money for everybody across the board. And NMI is a really good option for that. And then Nate, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe ChargeZoom has that. Is that correct too?
ChargeZoom has that, as well as PayTrace also has the level 2 and level 3.
Yep. So if you have if you're for business to business specifically, if you're taking a lot of cards from other businesses, they typically have these corporate given cards, these business cards. And so when you accept a lot of those, this level 2 and level 3 processing really helps save a lot of money down the road for sure.
It does. And I will just briefly show here the screen here where ChargeZoom is. One of the things, you can get a review, but they describe a lot of their level 2, level 3 processing. PayTrace also does that, and we're working on collecting some more information on there. But make sure you go and do the demos right now. It's a hard refresh, but you can register right now. Every other Thursday, they're doing demos just for PaperTech partners. And then through the end of the year, they're paying you to bring your merchants just to get a demo of ChargeZoom, which I think is a software for those who are living, I don't know the exact percentage, but those who are living in the net 15 to net 45, 60-day world, a large percentage of them are living in the QuickBooks world, and ChargeZoom is our best option for that. And you can even do ChargeZoom mixed with PayTrace and kind of do a little interesting workarounds. But a lot of this, I would say, is you got to talk through to your merchant and then talk to your relationship manager, help us walk through what some of those best options are. But let's even think through for those merchants that are current merchants and how to set up these type of products. Like if you're looking for, and we're kind of walk through these. So obviously, most likely how to set up a pay anywhere product. Everyone gets the payments hub, and you can add on the ability to do invoicing for $14.95. But let's say, Mike, that I already have a merchant, they're processing on XYZ, and they want to add on to do invoicing through one of our products beyond what they're already using on their Desk 3500 or what they're utilizing. What are the processes to do that, to add that on?
Perfect. Again, it comes back to contacting one of us. Contact one of your relationship managers. And with authorized.net and only authorized.net, we request that. They add it to the file. they automatically are going to get a welcome email from authorized.net. Any of those others we use, we are building those files ourselves in-house. So we, again, come to us, we'll make the request, let us know if they want to use the convenience fee or surcharge, depending on which one they're using. We build that here in our office, and it again will send that email out to the merchant to welcome them, have them log in, set up a password. These portals all work very similarly, and I've worked in 3 or 4 of them now, and they also, look very similar. So it is not a scary thing. Please don't let your merchant be worried about, oh, I got to learn a brand new software. It's very user friendly. So let us know. We'll add the file for you, and we'll get the credentials
Yeah.
built and get them out to you. Sorry.
Well, and that's one of the things there is you can also, on ChargeZoom, that one, if you're setting up from the base, they're part of the drop down, it'll automatically be created and they will reach out to you and your merchant to set you up. If you're adding to, in fact, I just did it for a local merchant here. They were using BigCommerce. We added ChargeZoom. I sent an email off. I kind of skipped a step and skipped the relationship manager. So it probably took a little less time, but within 4 hours, I had a VAR to give to ChargeZoom to add on to their BigCommerce account and to be able to do all that. And so all these are simple, pretty simple processes. Just work with your relationship manager and we can get them up and going really quickly and get them accepting those first invoices. The other thing about invoicing is that recurring invoicing and the recurring payments. And some of these products have it, some of them don't. And a lot of, I think probably by the end of next year, I don't know exactly, all of it, I have heard dates for everyone, are all going to have recurring payments, all going to have recurring invoicing. But there is a differentiation. I just saw one of our merchants or one of our partners the other day had set up someone with Payments Hub and wanting to do recurring billing, but realizing that's just simply recurring invoicing. We were talking this a little bit before the show, Mike, but can you tell us a little bit of how that differentiates between recurring billing and payments versus like that recurring invoicing product that's right now in Payments Hub?
Yes. So in Payments Hub, as Nate said, you can set up the merchant's customer to be billed 12 times. And what it's going to do, it's going to send an email reminder to click here and pay that bill. What most are looking for is the ability to set somebody up with equal payments for a membership or payments for purchasing something. And that's more what I would call recurring payments. And that is when you have someone's credit card on file and you set it up to 12 even payments of $75 a month or whatever the number is. Also, having their card on file allows you to go in and charge an actual invoice on the virtual terminal if you needed to. That's the part of the vault that these types of software offer. So I'm a little off track there, but that's another feature of those is keeping those cards on file in a secure manner though. So I can pull up John Smith Corporation's credit card. They've got a bill here and they said charge it to my card, click, 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 and it sends them a receipt. So, but to your point, recurring payments is when it's going to charge somebody's card automatically. Recurring billing is just going to send them a reminder to please pay this bill and click here.
And I think as you're working with your merchant, they're going to be able to help you understand how they want to handle that. And the larger amounts of volumes of invoices of recurring payments, the more they're going to want a more robust software. So I would say it starts with Pay Anywhere, Payments Hub, and it goes to the most robust software of PayTrace and ChargeZoom, and in between all the rest. And those who are most focused on those products and some of the bells and whistles. But they're not going to want those who are really may do 1,000 invoices a month. They want to make sure they're in some type of product where when the merchant want to change how their payment, how they're paid, that they don't have to call into you every time that they want to make that change, that they can actually log into a portal with a username and password and change that payment. I want to be paid. And then there's questions on things like ACH and stuff that we won't go totally into. But as we close out, because I don't want to spend all, hours on this, there's so much information, but I want to make sure there isn't a merchant that is doing invoicing that we don't have a tool to help them do it better and easier and use our payments, and a lot of times save them a lot of money. Is there anything else, Jenny and Mike, that I've missed when talking about some of these softwares that do invoicing and those recurring payments?
I think that you kind of touched on this a little bit, but also if they already have a relationship, or perhaps as a sales partner, you have a relationship with Fluid Pay or NMI, you can still just have us submit a VAR sheet on over, so you can set them up on your side as well. So we can set them up for the merchant, or if you want to do it on your end, we have that ability as well. So we can definitely help with both directions, just depending on how you want to set them up. So
Good. That's a really good point. And there are, as I was saying in our pre-show, there are, I don't know how many, but tens, if not 100,000 other softwares that do invoicing. And a lot of them are using Authorize.net, or they're using Fluid Pay, or they're using NMI as their back end. And you can just simply plug that in and they can keep using what they're already using, or they found a software that they want to do. Or even if you find someone who's just creating a new software and you want to help them, go to developer.paymentshub.com. That's a whole nother piece that where we could just integrate directly into them. But there is no deal left behind when it comes to these invoicing opportunities out here. And I forget the number, $17 trillion that's going to be processed this year through invoicing. I mean, it's something I've seen like that. And it's significantly more money being processed that way than in the SMB market and the brick and mortar and all the other things we are involved in. So it's something to be looked at. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. On that, we've covered everything you need to know about invoicing software. Probably not. But the biggest thing is we always come back. Reach out to Mike. Reach out to Jenny. Reach out to your relationship manager. Our team is here to help you make the best decision. And that's why we do office hours every week, just to give you a little insight. Hopefully you watch this and you can watch this, 6 months from now, and it's still going to pretty much be true. And if you all, the truth is, we're here to help any way we can. On behalf of Mike, I'm Jenny. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of the week and happy office hours.
See ya.